You're listening to the Valley Labor Report with David Story and Jacob Morrison.
Daryl Richardson, he's a picker at the Amazon facility and a worker on the organizing committee at the Amazon Fulfillment Center here in Bessemer. Jennifer Bates is a learning ambassador and also a member of the organizing committee. Jennifer, Daryl, thank y'all so much for talking to us. We really appreciate it. Yeah, you want to speak into the mic so that the people can hear you?
We thank you for having us.
Yes, we thank you for having us here.
Oh, yeah. We're really appreciative of your time. So, Daryl, we'll start with you since you're holding the mic. Why was unionization what was the thing that made you go to the union and say, we want to organize?
Well, like I said, I've been at Amazon since March, 10 months. And after I got there, I realized it needed to be some changes. So we need better working environment. We need communication and job security. And I feel like the union can do that for us, So I feel like it could be better. It could be better ran, the company. And it's just a lot of changes need to happen.
Right. Jennifer, what about you?
Well, I started working at Amazon May 1st, 2020. I was excited when I first got to Amazon because ordering from Amazon and to find out that big company like that is coming to my city. Mm-hmm. And it was exciting to be a part of them and use some of the work experience that I had to help grow the company. But once I got in there, I saw a lot of unorganization, a lot of limping. People, to be early on a new company, there was too many people limping and hurting. And I heard a lot of complaints. It's normal to hear complaints on jobs. Sometimes you have issues. I don't feel good today, or this manager doing this, but it was overwhelming. And to me, to hear a lot and then to go through a lot and a lot of pain, climbing you have 4 floors in there. So instead of building it with elevators, you put long stairways. So if you're working on the 4th floor that day, guess what? You're going to have to walk up those stairs all the way up. Or the 3rd floor, the days change, and not counting the amount of time it takes you to go, you have to walk, because if you're on the back side, you have to walk all the way up to go to break. So to hear a lot of people complaining, it was too much. And to me, it was not just a complaint, it was a cry for help. And so a few of us talked about it. Daryl contacted the union, and so many people wanted to support. They say we need it. And most of us who have been part of unions before understood. And that's when it all started.
So you talk about the amount of area that you have to cover, and then like going to breaks. I'm sure they're really watching y'all's breaks. So when you have to cover this kind of area, are y'all able to take a full break or take a full lunch and things like that? When you're having to cover this kind of area.
Well, it takes a long time to get to the front. We have small break rooms. Right now, because of COVID, only like 6 people can be in a break room. Yeah. So one of the things that they wanted us to do is to bring food that you don't have to heat up. And they even put the sign up, bring food that you don't have to heat up, I guess to cut down on your time. But they gave us like a 5-minute, sometimes they give you a 5-minute
jump start.
Yeah, to get to break, but you have to rush because you have so far to walk.
Yeah.
And after working so many long hours, your hours, sometimes 4 or 5 hours. If you come in early, sometimes you go to break late. And I don't think they're right. And we don't even get an extra break for overtime.
Yeah. Y'all don't get an extra break. Like if you work 4 hours later, you all don't get an extra break after that.
Well, it's not 4 hours. Sometimes it's an hour.
Okay.
Just 1 hour. And we only get 2 breaks out of a 10-hour shift.
2 breaks, a 10-hour shift. And so set the stage, because there's going to be a lot of people out there listening. we've drove by the factory already, so we know how expansive this place is.
Yes.
But to kind of fill the people in on the number of people we're talking about in this factory, when you're saying 6 people per break room, how many people's working on each shift?
For each floor, it looks like about 1,000, you know. I may be exaggerating, but it's a lot of people on each floor. And this just on the half that I'm on. So you have a whole another half. We have inbound and outbound, which is receiving, and outbound is everything that's going out.
Jennifer, you mentioned something one of the first things that you said. You said that some of y'all have been in unions or know folks who've been in unions, and so you know what it's about. That's something that folks have been interested in, is the history of that area. Of this area, how does the history of Birmingham as it relates to the labor movement and your own experiences kind of informed your interest in organizing?
Well, my experience is that once going to HR and they ignore you, you can't get into communication with anybody. When they tell you if you don't go to break an hour later, your break is changed to an hour later, and someone says, well, I need to go to break now. You know, my legs are hurting, I need to rest. To hear somebody in management say, if you don't go to break then, you don't get a break. You know, so people got fired, not being able to tell their side of the story, and some got fired when they shouldn't have gotten fired, or gotten fired for not being 6 feet when management or less than 6 feet, or they're coming to us and they're not 6 feet. So it was unfair and unbalanced. And then the break times. So for me, I know that the union will come in and able to sit down and negotiate with the company. Hey, you know, the people are giving you a huge commitment. Won't you sit down with us and let's reason together? Yeah. Give them the same commitment that they're giving you when they come in and do a great job. You know, we shouldn't have to work hard or race each other just to get a T-shirt. Right. You know, that should be part of the uniform. Be good to us and give us each one of us. Some people leave work without a shirt because they didn't reach the number. Only 3 people got it. So everybody should be rewarded for hard work.
Right. What about you, Daryl? You know, do you does the history of this area or your experiences, you know, what kind of informed your decision to see organization as important?
Well, I feel like organization is important when it comes to Amazon, because, like I said earlier, you shouldn't have to wake up in the morning. Your schedule change.
Yeah.
You should be able to go to break, have more than 2 breaks due to whenever they change your schedule. You work 10, 11 hours, you still got 2 breaks. And then your break time is so far gapped. I come in at 6:15, depends on which floor I'm on. Like I'm on the 4th floor, my first break ain't until 11:35. That's too far.
That's a long time to wait.
That's a long time.
Especially whenever they're pushing you.
Right.
The way they're pushing.
And then from 11:35, the next break is 3:35. You know, I feel like that's too far. Depends on which floor you're on. Like Jennifer said, walking distance. You know, and then they can. To me, they could. If I'm working 10 hours consecutive, pushing. They could rotate people out to me as half a shift, or put somebody else on and let you do something different. And then if you go to the bathroom, you get doctored because you got to scan. If you're not scanning in a consistent, you leave your station, got to go to the bathroom. You can't pause your time.
So you're telling us that if y'all go to the bathroom, they're docking y'all's time on. I mean, that's absolutely insane.
That's called TOT.
Amazing.
Time off task.
Wow, that's really crazy. And we're coming up on a break, so we're going to talk to y'all some more after this break is over. And you've been talking about, you know, some of the issues that y'all have, some of why you wanted to organize, and on the other side of the break, I'm interested in talking about what you reckon the being in a union will be able to change, and what Amazon's been doing. So we'll be right back.
Story and
Put it there, boy, and we'll Show these fascists what a couple of hillbillies can do.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Valley Labor Report. My name is Jacob Morrison, here with my co-host, David Story. We have with us two workers that are really integral in organizing the union here at Amazon. We've got Daryl Richardson and Jennifer Bates, both employees, both still employees at the Amazon facility. So we're really excited that they have taken the time to talk to us. We've talked about some of the issues that they had coming on and working for Amazon in the last segment. Now I want to touch on, what is it about organizing, having a union that you reckon will kind of fix some of those issues? Obviously, those aren't all the issues. We could we could spend the whole show on the issues, I'm sure. But why do you reckon being a union you'll be able to work on some of those issues to make your working conditions better?
Well, if we was to vote the union in, I feel like the union can come in and make it better when it comes to job security. I feel like the union could come in better, make it better when it comes to positions, seniority, safety, and like I said, when it comes to breaks, give us breaks fairly. Because when we first started, they let us pick a shift. What best shift is what we want, convenient for us. Mm-hmm. And so that schedule is the schedule that we have. That's not the schedule we be going by when it comes to breaks. Because every day our break can change, depends on which floor you at. But when I signed up for the schedule my break time would have been at 10:15 every day. But it ain't like that now. And I feel like the union can fix that.
So they've unilaterally changed, it's what you're saying, without any input from the workers whatsoever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Day to day.
And I think it's important to touch on what Jacob was talking about earlier is, this whole thought of the union really, is y'all.
Right. And then on when we have our anti-union meetings, they always say, why y'all want a third party to come in here and speak on y'all behalf when y'all got a voice, y'all got a voice yourself, y'all can speak. The union ain't the third party. We the union.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
We make it. We negotiate. The employees negotiate what we want or what we want to fix. It ain't about the union. The union ain't no third party. It's us.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly important, and that's one of the things that I've heard that Amazon is trying to say is like, oh, well, you could end up with more, you could end up with less, and it's like, well, you only end up with less if the workers vote to have a contract with less. And, call me like maybe I have an optimistic view of workers, but I don't think y'all are going to vote for a contract where you've got it worse off than you have it right now, will you?
And Jacob, since you just said that, I had an anti-union meeting Thursday, and that's exactly what I said. Mm-hmm. When they were stating in there that you could lose your pay,
right?
Your benefits can go, and I said, you think the union out there that make it worse than it is now? Right. I said, really?
Yeah.
So I said, the union ain't coming. The union not gonna make it worse. We're not gonna negotiate lower than what worse is. Who does that?
So right. let me get this straight. They're pushing y'all on your breaks. You have to take your lost time when you go to the bathroom. But yet it sounds like you having a plenty of time for anti-union meetings.
Yes, sir.
So how many give us an idea of in a week what y'all are dealing with, maybe with anti-union meetings, and also possibly, I've heard that they're texting everybody's personal cell phones and things like that. How much time are y'all spending on this anti-union thing?
Okay, we get emails, we get text messages about anti-union. Like I said, in the break room, we have flyers beside the break table. You go to the bathroom, they right in front of our stall when we go to the bathroom. It kind of get to the point. It's intimidating. And I feel like it's a little bit of harassment now too, because it's going too far, especially when you put it in the bathroom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So is that ridiculous? You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. So soon as you using stall, you looking dead at it.
Yeah, well, Jennifer, I had heard something about the anti-union meetings. You know, these captive audience meetings that they make you go for. Do you get the time? Like, do you have to rush to do the same amount of work, even though they took 30 minutes from y'all doing that union meeting, or what does that look like? You know, when you've got a 8 or 10 or 12 hour shift and they take away 30 minutes for that, do you still have to put the same amount of work into 7.5 hours or 9.5 hours that you normally would?
Yes, I'm in the receiving, and what they do is they come in and pick us off the line and say, we're going to a meeting. The first day, I didn't know where we were going. Someone asked the question, where are we going? We're going to a meeting. So when we got in there, we came back. So they expect us to continue working. Some people went and they left some on the line in the area that I worked in. So, of course, we have to continue to get our rates up. If your rates are not up, they're going to come and tell you, hey, your rates are such and such. You need to move a little faster.
And so
they actually take it, and it surprises me because you're complaining about rushing back from breaks, but at the same time, you have the time to take us off the line to teach us about why we shouldn't vote for the union.
Right. I mean, that's really amazing. they're trying to make you make up for the time that they're taking from you to fill your head with lies, basically. What has, how are the workers reacting to the campaign that Amazon, the anti-union campaign that Amazon is pushing, and how are they reacting to the union campaign?
Yes, a lot of them are excited about it, but they can't stop most of the time getting off work because we're so tired.
Yeah.
And a lot of them say, they want to talk. They want to be able to sit down and have meetings with the union because they have questions too. Since we hear one side, we want to hear the other side too. And a lot of them are very excited about the union. It's to the point where, you have some people who are afraid to lose their jobs, so they're not going to say anything. And that's where we come in, at those of us who have a little boldness and not intimidated. We may lose our job. They may, we don't know, but our stance is to be able to have a seat at the table and talk to Amazon. Since they didn't hear us, that's where the union comes in. We're united together to say, we come to you, Amazon, and that's where our WDSU come into play, for the work that we have to do. We need more pay. I think we deserve better pay for the work.
Yeah, that's a fantastic place to end it on. Thank y'all so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
We're going to have some more with some folks here at RWDSU in Birmingham. Going to be talking to Big Mike, one of the local poultry plant workers with RWDSU. On the other side of this break, stay tuned. This is the Valley Labor Report. The North Alabama DSA is holding a necessities drive every Saturday, and that means this Saturday too, from 3 to 5 p.m. at the IBEW Local 558 Union Hall on Clinton Avenue, right across from Yellowhammer Brewing and Campus 805 in Huntsville. So if you're in the area and you want to drop off some clothes, some non-perishable food items, blankets, stuff like that, then swing by the IBEW Union Hall right across from Yellowhammer and Campus 805 from 3 to 5 p.m. this Saturday and every Saturday. Follow DSA North Alabama on Twitter for more information. So thanks for tuning in, folks. We really appreciate your time. If you want to see what we're up to throughout the week and get our snide quips about the news of the day, then you should follow us on social media. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/The Valley Labor Report. We're on Twitter at Labor Reporters. I'm on Twitter at JacobM_AL. David is on Twitter at Radical Unionist. That's spelled RADICL Unionist. And if you missed part of the show and want to go back and watch it later, you can search YouTube for The Valley Labor Report and subscribe to our channel. You can go back and watch the full show there, and we clip segments and release them throughout the week. We also upload the program on more than 11 different podcasting apps, so to see if we are on your listening platform of choice, you can go to thevalleylaborreport.transistor.fm/subscribe. We have a website that you can go to, thevalleylaborreport.org. And finally, if you appreciate our work and want to help us stay on the air, then you can consider throwing us a couple dollars a month on patreon.com/thevalleylaborreport.